Hi everybody. Higurashi. I made it home. After several hours of trying to get my car to get smog checked, it finally proved that it's okay. It is checked and the smog is fine. My car is back in condition and my registration is on the way.
Nice.
Congratulations. So no longer will we have to stress about that. So I can finally play a game. AKA Higurashi. So let's get into it. Sorry, the nice sounds of the rain was making me relaxed, but we have an objective to do, so cut the relaxation and let's get started. I put on my best voice. I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't get any sleep. I tried to stay awake all night, but there were definitely gaps in my memory. I guess I kept nodding off and jerking awake in a panic all night. Well, fucking well. Okay, well, good. That's one way to get ready. That's one way to snap back into reality. Holy shit. Thanks. Forrest, first you assassinate me at O'Reilly, and now you assassinate me right after listening to very nice, relaxing sounds of the rain and the Higurashi. It really do be like that sometimes.
No, that's wrong.
Watching just in case someone tried to break in through my window. If I left this spot, someone would break through the door, sending the futon flying and attack me. But if I stopped lying and watching the window, someone would break through the glass and attack me. I tried telling myself I was just being paranoid, but I couldn't sleep. The thought of being so vulnerable scared the living daylights out of me. If sleep meant taking that risk, I don't need it. It was so much better to just stay awake. At some point during the endless cycle of nodding off and jolting awake, light began to shine outside. But that was it. It wasn't so much the morning as it was just the sun simply having risen. I snuck a peek out through the curtains. Brenna was gone. Nice! I couldn't see her anywhere no matter how hard I looked. Finally, I could breathe a deep sigh of relief. The night was finally over. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired, but I didn't feel like sleeping at the moment. I still had time. But I needed to make my own breakfast, so I'd better get started soon. Skipping school was also an option. With my mom gone, it'd be easy to play hooky. Honestly, I debated it. The risk involved in leaving my house was incalculable. So staying holed up in here was probably my safest option. But staying here wouldn't solve anything. Oishi-san wouldn't help me without cold, hard evidence. Neither he nor my parents. So unless I found some sort of proof, these relentless nights would never end. I stretched my body, tilted my head back, and closed my eyes just like I did every morning. Yeah, it's use soda. Soda! You know? Like that. Oops, like that. I regulated my breathing and regained my senses. Calm down, Kaiji Maibara. Let's go to school. Let's wait until they set their trap for me. But that didn't mean I was just going to twiddle my thumbs. I needed to avoid that trap and secure irrefutable evidence. Take note of the plates of any car that drives by. If I see someone suspicious, check their clothes and face. I wasn't just protecting myself. I was preparing myself to turn their attack against them and retaliate. Oh, spring. Oh, deformed Yuri as well. Hello, guys. The tension was similar to when two samurai were both aiming to slay each other with a single motion as they drew their katanas. I was not at a disadvantage. I would have a chance to retaliate. I finally felt a bit of courage growing in my chest. All right, let's go to school. I tightened my grip on Satoshi's bet. He was the only partner I could count on. Satoshi, please lend me your strength. And entrust your dying regrets to me, since you were probably murdered. I'll make sure I dispel them. With renewed resolve, I checked the clock. It was still early. Of course, I was going to school by myself today. If I didn't want to run into Rena or Mion, I needed to leave now. The shattered fragments of the cupboard were still strewn all over the entryway. Right. I meant to clean that up last night, but never got around to it with the phone call and everything. If my parents came back and saw this while I was at school, I would never hear the end of it. Still, I'd be wasting time if I cleaned it up right now, and considering what would happen if I ran into Rena or Mion. It wouldn't be too late to clean it up after I got back home. Making extra certain that the doors were locked, I left the house. Fucking Mason. Bah! And he's dead just like that. Rest in peace. My uniform was still covered in mud from yesterday, so I left it in the washer. Actually, I think my voice is too deep right now, isn't it? Doesn't it sound a little muddled? Let me turn it up a little bit. There you go. That should sound a little bit better. My uniform was still covered in mud from yesterday, so I left it in the washer. Today I was going to school in a tracksuit. By wearing a different outfit this morning, my mind was forced to accept that today was different from yesterday. I had a hunch. Today might be the day I get killed. Keep your guard up, Kaiji Maibara. The only one who gets to decide if today is my last is me. No, it's just my mic was a little bit, too low. If it has too much bass to it, it sounds like whoa, whoa, whoa. It doesn't sound clear and crisp, you know? I guess I'm just more relaxed today, you know? A lot less anxious. I feel very relieved having that done. I spent the morning practicing my swing like it was my natural routine. After a while, Rena arrived at school. Our eyes met, but we said nothing. Rena said nothing about last night, as if it never happened. But I could see that those events were real by the wounds carved into her fingers. That's so sad. I just heard her telling Satoko and the others that the bandages were from hurting herself in the kitchen. Oh. This is like... That's really fucking sad. Wow.
You can't spell nutrition.
Though it wasn't like it bothered me. The details that Oishi-san shared about Rena's incident before we transferred played vividly in my mind. For those that don't know what happened, because I released the episode late, we slammed her fingers into a door and basically almost cut them off with how much pressure we put into it because Rena was spooky and we were afraid of her. So just trying to put her fingers in to open the door. We said, fuck that bitch, and Yeah, pretty sad. Pretty fucking sad. Now that I knew about it, I couldn't even dream of Rena as a cute, ideal girl. So it's pretty sad she's trying to cover it up, even though she could just be obvious, not obvious, but be true and say, that bitch hurt me.
Kai-chan, I see you're still aiming for the Nationals.
It was Mion. I'd already sensed her approach, so I wasn't that surprised. Oh, Mion, if you understand, then leave me alone. I'm busy practicing. I gave her a curt reply without my usual jokes. Then I gave the bat an even larger swing, tactically keeping Mion from getting any closer.
Hey, Kai-chan, take it easy.
I think Mion got the message, but she still urged me to give it a rest. Alright, Spring. See ya, Spring. Home's not that far off, is it? Just let me finish practicing. What a dick. I swung the bat even harder, as a sign of my refusal.
Kai-chan, when did you get into baseball?
Just recently.
Recently? You mean yesterday?
Don't ask if you already know.
Damn. Oh dear. That's a very unsportsmanlike reply.
Oh my. You're distracting me. Go away. I ignored Mion and kept swinging. Normally, she'd get mad or bored and leave if someone gave her the cold shoulder like this. But Mion just stood there, waiting patiently for me to stop swinging. I didn't sense any hostility, but we were at school in plain view. I doubt she'd suddenly attack me here, or was I too naive? Still, I was starting to get tired. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take a break and hear her out. You need me for something, right? What is it? Sweat poured from me as I stopped swinging. I noticed my shoulders were heaving as I breathed. I cursed my lack of exercise. At this rate, I might not be able to move as needed when the time came. I should probably keep practicing my swings to build stamina in addition to the excuse for carrying the bat around with me.
Well, it's nothing important. If you're tired, I can ask again later.
Now is fine. I'm only dealing with you right now because I judge the situation to be safe. Talking to you alone and away from others, that's out of the question.
Well,
Mion was uncharacteristically trying to choose her words, but unlike Oishi-san, it didn't look like she was going to talk about something I'd rather not hear. Mion was puzzled trying to find the right thing to say, but then she gave a hearty laugh to break herself out of that mire. Because I keep timing out people. I keep killing people. Isn't that right, Mason?
This old man just no good at this stuff. Having a poor vocabulary hurts.
What's this all of a sudden? You got something to say, just say it.
Stop it. Stop that swinging.
That's a very, That's a determined face, if I've ever seen one. Oh no. She cut straight to the point. Her request was so frank, I didn't understand it for a moment. I had already stopped swinging to listen to her, hadn't I? I just stopped, didn't I?
That's not what I meant. I want today to be the last day you swing that bat. I'm sorry.
It took me some time to understand what she was asking for. What's wrong with swinging a bat? Why? It's none of your business, is it? I'm not bothering anyone, am I?
You are.
Mion said it flat out. This didn't make any sense, and that was really irritating. When did I bother anybody? Mion was at a loss for words. But she finally made up her mind and spoke, though she stuttered as she said it.
Because, Kai-chan, it's someone else's bat. You shouldn't borrow it without permission.
It was left behind by a student who transferred, right? Just borrowing it until he comes back for it.
Yeah, he transferred.
Bian grew uncharacteristically flustered. That made it all too clear that his transfer was a lie. You love the New York accent? Is that New York accent? I don't even know. Umbro Gaming. Long time since I've seen you, buddy. Long-ass time. Imagine if once a week Woohoo chooses a stream to commit the ultimate purge. Everyone except one person is timed out. Well, I'll start with you then, huh? Goodbye, username. And, time out Spring again, just cause. Sorry, Spring. I'm just kidding. You get a pass, Spring. Username will be the sacrificial lamb. Bian grew uncharacteristically flustered. That made it all too clear that his transfer was a lie.
But strange, isn't it? For the older brother to transfer by himself.
Oh, wait. While his little sister stayed behind, that's me. Mian couldn't hide her reaction as my words shook her up.
Kachan, you know.
Satoshi Hojo. Satako's older brother, right? The one demoned away last year? Unable to respond to that, Mian fell silent. Rena asked the same thing. Why did you start swinging the bat? You told me Satoshi did the same thing. Want to see how to get timed out? And see ya, Monica. Right before he went missing. ... So, is this some kind of omen for Yoshiro-sama's curse?
Shh.
Bian panicked and looked around.
Please, Kachan, don't mention Yoshiro-sama so recklessly. I don't believe in him, but the others very much do. Rina especially.
Dangerously so?
Anyway.
Oh, she's fucking pissed. Oh, man. Oopsie. Sorry, milady.
You're scaring everyone. If you're just fooling around, then stop it. You have to stop acting like Satoshi.
I was the one who was scared. Who do I have to thank for taking up this bet in the first place? But it is still unsettled, me knowing that my actions were overlapping with Satoshi's. It would be one thing if someone suggested it, but I thought I was making my own decisions.
I'll say this now. I don't know anything about Satoshi.
Oh wait, that's me. I'll say this now. I don't know anything about Satoshi. After all, you didn't tell me anything about him.
We didn't mean to hide it.
You were hiding the incidents that happen every year, weren't you?
That's because we didn't want to,
You didn't want to scare me. That's your reason for leaving me out?
No, we didn't mean to.
Bian, I asked you directly if something happened at the dam, didn't I? And you told me nothing happened. When someone was dismembered and murdered, you lied to me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you.
Friends don't hide things from each other, right? Isn't that right? Then you all aren't my friends. Oh no.
Kachan, we...
Bian looked helpless and flustered. Was I imagining the tears in her eyes? I never could have imagined Bian acting like this. Oh, by the way, those get-well mochi you brought the other day, they were good. I thought I was going to bleed. Who did it? You? Or Rena?
Me.
She admitted it so easily. I couldn't help but be surprised at how easy that was. Wait a minute. Wow. Actually fucking wow. You could have killed me. How could you do that to a friend?
But it was just a little prank.
Oh. Bian gave me a wry smile mixed with confusion, causing even more anger to well up inside me. Oh, you think that was a prank? I grabbed Mian by the collar and lifted her up. For those that don't know what we're talking about, recap. We found a needle inside of her mochi. They gave it to us and we found a needle, a sewing needle. Not fun to find in your mouth. For sure, when you did not expect it. That wasn't the same as putting Tabasco sauce in a piece of mochi. Oh? It was a needle! A sewing needle! He said it for me. Never mind. Sorry. I recapped something I didn't need to recap. If I had swallowed that and it lodged in my throat, what did she think would happen? Mion's face froze as her body rattled in fear. This wasn't the Mion Sonozaki I knew anymore. Anyways, you're not my friend. There's no reason for me to listen to someone who was not my friend. So just leave me alone for a while. Got it? He's pulling the 4th grader shit right now, dude.
If you don't do this for me, you're not my friend. And you can't come over to my house.
Mion wasn't replying anymore. It won't be that easy to erase me, you know. The cops have been on you from the start. So don't think you can make me disappear like you did to Satoshi. I said it clearly. This is my declaration of war. I think you guys are suspects in the previous incidents too. I also know you spent a lot of time with the cops ever since that anti-dam movement. Don't think you can hide it from me. Got that?
How did you know?
Mion stood there with a dumbstruck look on her face. That was when I heard the principal ringing the bell from school. Okay, Spring, you're fucking dumb. Bye, Sprig. I don't know what the shit you're saying in chat, but it's confusing me, man. I just don't want you to be there. Let's go. The class representative needs to be there, right? At that moment, for the first time, I realized Mion was sobbing as tears ran down her cheeks.
You're so mean, Kai-chan.
Fucking Monica, I swear to God. I wanted to console her, but I shut my mouth. I had no need to feel guilty.
I'm going. Won't be late for homeroom.
Oh, that was me. I left Mion still shaking as I turned around to head for the entrance. I had no idea how troubling it was to make a girl cry. Behind my back I could hear her muttering. It was a faint mutter as she was speaking to herself. Yikes. So that's how it was. Huh? They wouldn't say it to anyone. It was Mion talking to herself. But it was a sobbing voice that had a kind of giddy, cursing tone. I inadvertently stopped and turned back towards her.
So it was that bastard. He looked at all the Kai-chan.
She balled up her fist as her tears continued to rain down. She glared at the spot at the ground with a terrifying yet smiling face, cursing. A chill ran down my spine from that demonic expression. This transformation, Mion's transformation, was different from Rena's.
I should have killed him back then. He forgot the mercy I showed him just because he was going to retire this year.
Wait a minute.
Clappity, clappity, clap!
Wait a minute. Retiring this year? Was she talking about Oishi-san?
Damn it. Damn it. I'm going to kill that damn old man.
She fucking autism's out. It felt like the air itself had begun distorting. With Mion at the center, the world had begun to twist and spiral, bending, whirling. This was the first time I'd experienced such a visage.
Nice!
Rise. Attention.
Mion made up an excuse for her red eyes by saying there was something wrong with her contacts. After that, neither Rena nor Mion spoke to me for the rest of the day. Neither Satoko nor Rika-chan looked me in the eye. This is so sad. Strangely, I didn't feel hurt. Everything had just went back to the way it was. The months since I transferred in had been almost too much fun. That was all. The school was supposed to be something like this to begin with. I should have disliked that feeling, but today it felt oddly refreshing. Relatable. Not talking to anybody at school? Relatable. The bell rung, sounding the end of the monotonous school day, which had felt so tense yet so dull. Since it would cause a lot of unpleasant memories, if they asked me to join in the club activities, I promptly started preparing to go home without even looking at them. I stuffed the contents of my bag into... I stuffed the contents of my desk into my bag, wrapped my hand around Satoshi's now familiar bat, and begun heading towards the entrance. See you soon, Mason. I was assailed. What the fuck is that word? Shut the fuck up, Mason. Mason! You're gone! Bah. He's dead. Just like that. Wait, you should have been in timeout. The fuck is this word?
Assailed.
Assailed? Okay, thank you. I learn a new word every day. I was assailed by both the exhausting relief that nothing had happened today and the tiring possibility of the same thing repeating tomorrow. But deep down inside me, far beneath, in the recesses of my heart, achingly, I knew. This would be the last day of this cycle. I couldn't tell how the ending would be, whether it would end as I wished it to end, or if it would end as I hoped it wouldn't. Regardless, in my current state, there was something more important than how things would end. There was something I wanted to know. Am I late? 30 minutes, not too bad. You can catch up. We haven't had anything huge yet. To recap it, though, we just confronted Mion. Alright, see you, Spring. Bye-bye, bye. Bye-bye, bitch. We just confronted Mion about the fact that we believe that she's going to kill us, and that we don't trust any of them, and now we denounce them as friends, and we are going more batshit insane. Mion mentioned that she wants to kill Oishi-san, because, Oishi-san, sorry, or however the fuck you say it, wanted to kill him because she's upset that he leaked all the information about Hinamazawa to us. She's upset, we're upset at the rest of them, and we made Mion cry. Feels bad, man. But, that's where we're at. There was something I wanted to know. Why did it have to be killed? How did it come to this? Why? For what purpose? The sunlight was relentless. The sun, the heat, even the air. They wouldn't give me my answers. Or could it be that the cries of the Higurashi were desperately trying to tell me something? Somewhere, mixed in with their shrieks, Tamatake-san and Satoshi, were also probably trying to tell me something. I simply haven't been able to realize it yet. When I do realize it, I wonder if I will be amongst the Higurashi, fruitlessly crying the next victim. Glancing down at my feet, I saw a Higurashi on its back, spasming weakly. Wee, wee, wee. There was still much of the summer left, yet this one was already chirping its last song. I couldn't tell what it was saying, no matter how hard I listened, but I had to try. He's listening to a fucking bug right now? I had to try to listen to what it was desperately trying to tell me. This bitch is far gone. He's trying to hear what the fuck? At that moment, the shrills of the Higurashi ceased all at once, as if they had been huddled together, fearing that the person who brought them in their dreadful fate had arrived. There was no mistaking it. A presence was approaching. The sound of footsteps was almost non-existent. If the Higurashi hadn't warned me by ending their chirping, I wouldn't have noticed. My exhaustion left me in a heartbeat. In its place was a rush of adrenaline that sharpened all of my senses. I was just barely able to hold back that creeping, suffocating feeling of horror. It wasn't something I could hold back for long. But in this moment, when I needed to be razor sharp, I was able to retain my composure. I wasn't going to shout like I did yesterday. I hid myself calmly amongst the trees, waiting for my pursuer's shadow. Could I get them to pass by me? No. Since I was able to hear their footsteps, they were probably also able to hear mine. They might have already been able to tell that I hid myself and was holding my breath. The person tailing me wasn't Rena, just like yesterday. If it was Rena, I wouldn't hold back. I would just yell at her and make her go ahead, like yesterday. If it wasn't Rena, it would depend on how they acted, I guess. The footsteps ambled closer. I swallowed, wiped my clammy hands on my pants, and readjusted the grip on my bat. I could tell that the fear that I had beaten back once was now waiting for another opening to come at me. Who could it be? I peeked out from behind the tree at the person following me. It was Rena. There she is! There she is! There was a bit of relief as I realized it was someone I knew, but that feeling left me in an instant. Oh, no! This wasn't the same Rena that I knew. Oh, there it is again. There's the fucking...
Recruits needed, sire.
Oh, there it is. Alright, we're back to the shit. Her eyes were dark and lifeless, but her mouth appeared as if it was carved into a crescent. Yes, it looked like she was grinning slightly. Oh! Oh! And in her right hand was an axe. Oh!
Help me! Oh my God!
Help! I hid myself behind the tree once again and recalled this unbelievable sight I just saw. What was that just now? The embodiment of terror laid bare. Baseball, practicing my swing, there was tons of excuses for me to be carrying a bat, but for that axe, there was no excuse for that. An axe. Just like that.
Hi, Jikun. Are you playing hide and seek, I wonder?
My heart was pounding, hard enough that I had trouble breathing. What little composure I had been able to hold on to was now crushed. In its place, cold sweat gushed forth, covering my entire body, letting me know precisely what kind of emotion had taken hold. Not good. Not good. Not good. I wasn't able to hide myself completely. She already knew I was here.
Are you trying to scare me? I wonder.
I decided that I wouldn't be able to reveal myself now, since there was still space between us that allowed Rena to come any closer. I adjusted my grip on the bat again, readied myself mentally, and stepped out from beyond the tree.
Ah! I found you, Kaiji-kun.
Rena was pleased that she found me, eliciting a mysterious giggle. Her mouth was smiling, but her eyes told me she was displeased by the fact that I had been hiding. Those eyes, they were just so empty. My legs began to quiver. Not good. In the pit of my stomach, some sort of vicious, hot, and cold substance began spreading around. If I allowed it, that substance would slip into my bloodstream and undoubtedly freeze all the organs of my body. Not good. Not good. We'd have hard if I run at this rate. Strike back. Don't lose.
What is it?
Oh, so is me. What is it? I blustered, hiding behind my bravado. But Rena didn't flinch one bit.
It's the same as Kaiji-kun. I'm heading home.
Then what about that axe?
Then what about that bat you're holding?
Oh. I'm practicing my swing.
Then I'm treasure hunting.
Oh my God. Rena gave a flippant explanation as to why she had such a fearsome weapon. Treasure hunting.
We had the treasure mountain near the dam site. I found a new coyote thing. So need us to dig it out.
How can I believe that?
You wouldn't believe it, would you?
Oh, no! Rena's laugh was obviously very strange. I'd seen Rena's transformation many times before. Where is that? Here it is. That's that laugh. I can't do it, so she can for me. Yikes. But the one today was completely different. Like her mischievous tone and the shrewd glint in her eyes, it wasn't something that roundabout. Another JoJo reference. I'm not sure what to say. It was just so obvious.
Wait, Kaiji-kun. What?
Oh, there it is again. Do it again, do it again. Rita didn't stop walking, even as she let out that eerie laugh. Whenever Rena got too close to me, I would scurry away and turn back towards her. The cycle repeated over and over. No matter how you look at it, I was being chased by Rena and was trying to escape. Don't follow me!
I can't do that. My house is this way after all.
There it is again. Play that shit again, boy. When I met with Rena on this road yesterday, she cowered and trembled as she followed my commands. But today was different. Rena didn't show a hint of trepidation. Actually, wasn't I the one who was cowering? If the way home for Rena and me was the same, that's fine. I just changed my route. That'd work out, wouldn't it? I turned onto a side street I'd never been down and knew little about. But Rena saw me do that and followed me while laughing. Why? Why? Aren't you going home? Just go home, down the street you normally do. Why would you follow me down this weird little side road? Those thoughts screamed in my head, eventually spilling out of my mouth. Why are you following me? The tone of my voice is already tingling with terror.
Because I want to talk to Kaiji-kun. Kaiji-kun wants to talk to Red too, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
I don't want to talk about anything with you.
That's a lie, isn't it? There's something you wanted to ask me about, isn't there?
Not at all. I have nothing to talk to you about.
Isn't it?
It's not a lie. Oh, there it is. Start spamming that shit, you fucks. There's the lie. Yeah. Oh, mamma mia. Rena's scream echoed, startling some nearby birds into flight. I cringed in fear. The only other thing I could do was increase my pace.
Let's try Kaiji-kun.
No!
You can't spell nutrition without that.
There it is again. I have this fucking laugh. Why was I running down the unfamiliar and deserted street?
There's a Kaiji-kun something he's worried about.
Nothing at all. I'm not worried about anything. This is a fucking chat right now. God damn. There it is. You soda and also. Even though I was running, even though Rena was walking, why wasn't I getting any farther away? I know. I
know, I really do know. You're scared, aren't you, Kaiji-kun?
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. There it is again. Lies. Fuck, she's really chasing us. This is creepy as shit. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, never mind. I did mean to do that. My breathing grew heavy, and it felt like my legs were getting up from beneath me. Rena wasn't even breaking a sweat. I'll listen. This time I'll listen. I had no idea what she was talking about, what exactly she wanted to do. This time I'll listen. It'll be different from the time with Satoshi-kun. Oh wait, that was her. That was her.
This time I'll listen. It'll be different from the time with Satoshi-kun.
When she said Satoshi's name, I turned back for a moment. But even as I did that, Rena was still advancing. I couldn't afford to stop.
Satoshi-kun was worried too. He looked like he was having such a hard time. Wait and listen. I was so sad.
Where did this street connect to? All these twists and turns, ups and downs. It was hard to believe that was even remotely in the direction towards my house. My sense of direction had long since been out of the window.
I really regretted it when Satoshi-kun transferred out. I thought that if I had listened, and I transferred out. I really regretted that.
The road led me deeper into the forest. Wasn't I getting farther away from the village the more I ran? I lost more and more of my composure the more I thought about it. But despite the realization, my inner self was still disturbingly calm.
So you see, I vowed that if there was someone struggling like Satoshi-kun did, I'd save them.
What the fuck is a mouse?
I don't want to see anyone transfer out again.
Big laugh. Damn it! What does transfer even mean? I won't let you transfer me. I won't end up the same as Satoshi.
Come on, Kaiji-kun. Talk to me. I'll be able to stand you, Kaiji-kun. I'm your ally.
Started wheezing out of breath. My lungs were so hot that they felt like they were going to explode, and my heart was beating as hard as it possibly could. I should have practiced running instead of my swing. I couldn't even afford to scoff at that stupid thought.
If Kaiji-kun doesn't have anything to worry about, he'll go back to normal. Everyone will be back to being friends. We can enjoy our club activities again. Next time we'll team up. And be me, Sean.
Yeah, how much fun that would be. Rina couldn't even imagine how much I wished I could turn back the clock on these past few days.
You could be nice to me again, too. I want to go searching for treasure again. This time we'll prepare a nice lunch.
Yeah.
Actually, we could just go right now. Let's go to the dam site together. I'll show you the coyote thing when we get down. I'm sure you'll like it, too.
Hey, no. My footsteps made pathetic flapping sounds as my legs wobbled and faltered. Hot on my heels, Rena's steps were sharply breaking twigs underfoot. I had accepted. I was on the run, being shut the fuck up! Being chased by Rena. If she caught me, it was all over. I realized it instinctively. I couldn't even begin to think of what the end would entail. Just that if I was caught, it was all over. That's all I knew. It didn't matter how it was going to end. I wouldn't let it end. Not without knowing anything. Not yet. That momentary lapse was all it took. Of all the things that could have happened, my knees buckled underneath me, and I crumbled towards the ground. I tried to stand frantically, urging my legs to respond. I used my bat as a makeshift cane to prop myself up, but Rena was already standing right in front of me. Compared to me, out of breath and utterly exhausted, Rena was so cool and composed that she could have frozen the air around her. She wasn't breathing hard at all. Rather, I couldn't even sense if her heart was beating.
Are you afraid of something, I wonder? It's like you to tremble, Kaiji-kun.
That's a long-ass laugh.
No, that's wrong.
Her expression looked almost affectionate. Those soulless eyes. That mask of affection. As she admonished me for trembling, Rena's hands deftly slipped over her head. The blurs of arms, as they moved, made me feel as if I was staring at the godliness of a 1,000-armed Buddha. That's a...
Objection!
Okay. Then, as both of her hands met above her head, the axe that she had held came into focus. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! I stared up in disbelief. It was all I could do. Tell me, what happened to Satoshi?
Finished the quest, huh? Good job.
Rena stayed like that, with the axe raised above her head, and solemnly opened her mouth. It was as if she was expressing a farewell to a friend she was never able to see again. That cruel scenario resides somewhere
Recruits
in her
needed,
actions.
I told you. Satoshi-kun transferred out.
Enough of that transfer crap! It means demon away, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You can tell me now, can't you? Who made Satoshi disappear? Was it you, Mion, or someone in the village? Answer me! I became frantic the more I screamed out, but Rena did nothing but maintain the smile frozen on her face.
Well, I have no idea what Kaiji-kun is talking about.
Then I'll say it in a way so you do. Who is the perpetrator of this chain of mysterious deaths?
You seem to be confused, Kaiji-kun.
What?
There is no human perpetrator. Everything is by Oishio-sama's will.
Isn't Orishiro-sama's curse just superstition? You believe in that too?
It's not about believing or not. Oishiro-sama exists. Period.
Oh, that's a red boy. Rena's gaze grew even more lit. The ferocity of her stare was so intense, not allowing me to question anything.
You can't
There's
spell
no way
nutrition
that
without
something like Oyashiro...
Oh, wait, that's me. There's no way that something like Oyashiro-sama could exist.
You don't believe in Oyashiro-sama?
There's no way I would believe it. There's no way it could exist.
It exists. Oyashiro-sama exists. Kaiichi-kun should have felt it personally.
I never felt something like that.
Kaiichi-kun, haven't you felt something of someone apologizing to you before? Constantly. On top of that,
All noise from the outside world disappeared. Only Rena's voice resounded loudly and terribly.
you see, until you forgive them, they will always be with you. At school, at home, at your bedside. I couldn't understand what Rita was saying.
Oh, wait, sorry, that's me. I couldn't understand what Rena was saying.
It came to me too. Oyashiro-sama did. That's why I transferred. Came back to Hinabazawa.
I don't understand. I don't understand. What does transfer even mean? What was Rena saying?
Yes, Oyashiro-sama. Come to you as well. Kaiichi-kun. I'm probably only one you can confide in. I will let you transfer out. Okay?
Oh. Rena's demented laughter clanged around inside of my head. Was Rena saying Oyashiro-sama came to her as well? That's right. Last night I had heard about that when I asked about Rena.
Please keep this confidential. Also, part of this may be speculation. Not all of it may be true. Are you still interested?
Oishi began speaking.
Neither the victims nor the school filed a complaint, so there's no preliminary report. Basically, the police hadn't intervened in this matter, so all of the details are just what I heard from those involved. Meaning it's not that credible.
You said there were victims. Didn't Rena just break all the windows?
No, Rena Ryugu had attacked 3 boys using a metal bat. 2 of them made it out with only bruises, but the other had been injured so badly that one of his eyes was permanently damaged.
Wouldn't that be considered assault? Should the police have arrested her?
For whatever reason, the victim never pressed charges. There was no report to the police, though.
They were beaten with a bat and suffered significant injuries. Normally there would be a criminal investigation, but why? Why didn't they press charges?
I tried asking the 3 male victims for their side of the story.
I'm talking like me and aren't I? Wait.
But they were all reluctant.
There you go, now I'm talking like him.
It's hard to say, but they were all afraid, even after she had transferred schools.
Where is she, son? Do you summarize it starting from the beginning? Rena hit people while she broke the windows. Or was it she started breaking the windows after she got bored of hitting people? They sounded similar, but the meanings were drastically different. Well, fuck.
On an undisclosed date, Rena Ryugu was conversing with 3 male students, close friends of hers, near the pool storage shed.
This music, though. Who were those 3?
I can't reveal their names, but they were close to Rena Ryugu, and it seems they were a group of friends. She was the lone girl in the group.
So, it wasn't that strange for the 4 of them to be together. So, what happened?
I don't know the reason why. She took the baseball team's bat that was in the pool storage shed and beat the 3 of them down, one after another.
What? There were no witnesses. This was an account pieced together by the information given at the time of the incident. One day after school, Rena and 3 male students were at the pool storage shed talking together. They weren't seeking help. Rather, they usually met up there it appears it became a heated discussion. At that time, Rena underwent a change. The change was so abrupt that the three of them didn't comprehend what was happening. She's beating their asses! Then, taking the metal bat, she attacked her friends one after the other. Aw, shit. Leaving her friends covered in blood with gashes on their head, she made her way towards the school building. Oh, fuck. Mamma mia. Then she broke the glass windows one after the other. A few minutes later, a teacher appeared unseen and subdued her. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and time out Spring again. Alright, see you, bud. Oh, no! What was that change Rena underwent? Whoa, I'm stuttering.
What matches in the statements to the three was sudden change. The point that there was a transformation.
I also could recall Rena's transformation. I'd seen that change many times before. It was so different from the usual Rena that I couldn't help but believe it was someone else who looked like Rena. That transformation they're talking about. Had it happened before?
No, there was nothing like that. As far as I could find out, in her medical history and past, there was nothing like that.
Does that happen often? Where people change suddenly like Rena did?
Of course it does. There are plenty of psychological phenomena that could cause something like that.
Then you're saying there was a dormant element in Rena that caused that transformation?
I cannot say for certain. But according to the statements of her friends, it's hard to believe she had such a side to her.
Kind, caring, and adorable. Even before she transferred here, she was probably pretty popular in school like she was now. That girl transforming suddenly and assaulting them with a bat. Who could imagine such a thing? Nobody could have seen it coming. I, myself, sometimes believe that I was mistaken for thinking that was Rena, even now. Then, what happened after that?
There was a hospital right across from the school, so the three of them were carried in and treated quickly.
What about Rena? What about the police? Why wasn't there a criminal investigation?
You see, the police can't get involved unless they are called.
Even though one was badly injured with permanent damage? Why didn't they file charges?
That's what caught my attention as well. Either some threat or pressure was placed on them, or they had a reason they couldn't file charges even if they wanted to.
We're talking about you, after all. Of course you looked into it, didn't you?
Well, yeah. But I told you at the beginning, didn't I? That the victims were all very reluctant to talk. They didn't want to touch on the matter, or rather, they didn't want to be involved.
Was it Oyashiro-sama?
Reluctant to talk. Didn't want to touch it. Didn't want to be involved. It resembled the villagers here. And Oyashiro-sama's curse. Yeah, so it was. Shit. That's... Mamma mia. Did the teacher at that school tell you anything? Oh wait.
A school is the hallowed ground. You could say they tend to keep scandals under wraps. I didn't have a search warrant, so I had to tread lightly, you see.
Then there was no comment from the school.
No. They denied the incident ever happened.
How the fuck? Okay, there's a certain level of just, what the fuck? This is a little too far, even in fiction. This is a little too whack. It's just 3 male students were carried in for blunt force trauma that day. That's all there was in hospital records.
The victims didn't speak. The school denied it happened. And you don't know anything at all.
Oh wait, sorry. That was the other way around.
Yeah. I know nothing other than the incident itself had taken place.
The victims also wished... Oh, that was him.
Victims also wish this incident to be kept from the public. So if you and I both forget about it, Mayabara-san, then this incident will probably just fade away.
For a brief period, we sat in silence. At first glance, it looked like a simple assault case, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. The depths were obscured by roiling waves, sinking quietly into the void, as if it never existed to begin with.
After that, she underwent psychiatric counseling.
Did you hear anything from the doctor?
Again, they were very professional in regards to their ethics, or at least very tight-lipped.
Nothing even after you showed them your badge?
I was told to get a warrant. The badge itself has no legally binding authority after all.
Then how did you know that Brenda confessed that it was Oyashiro-sama who did it?
There was a nurse I asked in the department. She agreed to help me just from showing her my badge.
Then what did she say? Turns out the nurse hadn't heard everything. Apparently, all that she remembered was that she overheard from what she overheard from inside the rooms.
The nurse said that at the time, Brenda Ryugu was very calm and mild-mannered.
It was more like she was confessing her sins at church than a counseling session. She spoke with her mother She spoke with her mother there for some of it. What the fuck? Okay, that is fucked. She spoke with her mother there for some it of. Oh, that's fucked. But partway through, her mother was asked to leave, so it became a private counseling session between just the doctor and Rena for a while.
The part where Hiroshima-sama, when did that pop up? Partway through, she screamed the name suddenly. That startled the nurse, and that's why she started listening in.
Oh?
It was Oyashiro-sama!
Rena suddenly shouted that. I had no idea what was said before that, so I had no idea what the meaning behind it could have been. The doctor calmly and collectedly asked Rena to have a seat. What is this Oyashiro-sama you speak of? Gently, ever so gently, the fundamentals of counseling were believing what you were told.
Whoever abandoned Hinazawa will be haunted down by Oyashiro-sama! And they finally got into me!
That's the town you lived in before you moved here. Isn't that right, Ryugu-san?
I didn't want to move because of my mom and dad's circumstances. We had to. But Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow it.
Ryugu-san must have had lots of friends in Hiyamazawa. Even now you must be missing them dearly, don't you think?
I want to go back. Back to Hiyamazawa. No, it's not that I want to go back. I have to go back. I should have gone back much sooner. But now it's too late. Oyashiro-sama's come!
Oyashiro-sama is the name of that god in Hiyamazawa. Isn't that right?
Everyone knows it's Hiyamazawa's guardian deity. And if you even try abandoning Hiyamazawa by leaving, you'll incur his wrath.
You have moved quite a while ago, didn't you? Then, it was just now that this god had arrived. Is that what you're saying?
You might not believe me, but Oyashiro-sama exists!
The nurse was then asked by another nurse to do something, and left the room. That was all she remembered. That it was Oyashiro-sama's doing, right?
I do believe there is that kind of superstition in Hiyamazawa. That if you leave the village, you may incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. You should be familiar with this part, Mayabara-san.
He knew very well what those scorned by the village incurred. To hinder the dam construction project, they cursed the construction foreman to his death. Then the following year, Satoko's parents, supporters, and leading advocates for the dam were cursed to their death. But this was the first time I'd heard of the curse incurred by leaving the village. It's my first time hearing that. I can understand outside threats being cursed by the village, but why also villagers who leave? Normally, people who leave villages aren't supposed to be cursed, right? I know it's a bit strange to say it, but I could see it as a rule that the people who came in are the ones who would be cursed. Far from Jupiter. Far from his thunder. Curses weren't something to chase after people that leave, were they? Oishi-san pondered for a bit over on the other end of the receiver, then began speaking again.
Well, I told you of long ago when Hinamizawa was called Onigafaki, didn't I?
Can I time out somebody? Oh yeah, I can. Sorry, Spring. Long ago, Hinamizawa was feared and respected as the village of ogres.
The villagers at the foot of the mountains worshipped the ogres, so Onigafaki was hollowed ground that you could never enter. It came to be said that if you entered carelessly, you would be cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Those who set foot in Onigafaki, in other words, Hinamizawa, would be cursed. Oh, sorry, that's the other way around. How's the stream going so far? Fine, I'm gonna time out Unibot. Going fine. Crazy girls. Crazy girls. Lots of crazy girls. Wanna smack my booty. I know that. But for leaving to also be no good, that's... Also, the ogres, you see, they were being strictly watched by Oshiro-sama, so they would not enter into our world. In other words, Oshiro-sama probably restricted interaction between Onigafaki and the rest of the world.
I see. Sorry if I get obnoxious. I got like 2 hours of sleep last night from the damn allergies. You're good, dude. You ain't obnoxious at all. I'll tell you who's obnoxious, this Unibot. I'm gonna time her out again. Fuck this Unibot. Bye-bye. It's another timeout. Unibot's annoying as shit, dude. She just keeps posting links. Like, what the fuck? And she spams. Like, what is that? So basically, Oishio-sama is more like a warden than a protectorate deity, I guess. Trying to keep this place isolated from the rest of the world.
Guess that's how it would seem. I'm sorry, I don't know very much myself. This is mostly what was passed on to me from my grandmother.
I could understand it a bit better if it was like that. Those who came to Hinamizawa would be cursed, and those who tried to leave it would also be cursed. So because Rena originally lived in Hinamizawa and moved away, she fulfilled the requirements for being cursed. So that means, because Rena moved away against its wishes, she was cursed by Orishiro-sama. Is that what it adds up to?
In short, that seems to be what it points to, I guess. As a matter of fact, soon afterwards, they did move back to Hinamizawa after all.
Those who had abandoned Hinamizawa and left were cursed, but then why only Rena? Shouldn't Rena's parents also have been guilty of the same transgression by moving away and having been cursed? Also, in this day and age of Japan, shouldn't there have been a lot more people coming and going? If every single one of them was cursed, then it'd be insane. But in reality, it wasn't that big of a deal at all. At most, there would be one person dying and one disappearing on the day of the Watanagashi. I don't like saying at most, though. Well, anyways, there's a lot I still don't know. Even if it was Orishiro-sama's curse, it doesn't add up as to why her classmates, the victims who were beaten with a metal bat, wouldn't press charges. You don't think the victims were cowering because they believed the terrible curse had befallen them, do you? Of course, I don't want to believe it. But more importantly, I just realized something else. There's another bizarre connection that Rena made between Oyashiro-sama's curse and metal bats. Satoshi fell victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse and went missing. I've recently learned that Satoshi had also become infatuated with the metal bat right before he disappeared, just like me. Then Rena as well. She was affected by Oyashiro-sama's curse. She confessed that much to the doctor. The weapon which she had used at the time of that horrendous act was again a metal bat. And finally, me. I'd encouraged various things that were inexplicable, and now was holding on to a metal bat. I was shocked when I learned that Satoshi did the same thing. It couldn't be. Did the same thing happen to Rena? But there is one critical difference between her and Satoshi's case. That being, Satoshi went missing after falling victim to the curse. Rena was still there. Rena was still here. Both of them had fallen to Oyashiro-sama's curse, yet they were met with different endings. I mean, no? Question mark? Didn't they both move to a different spot? It's the same, just different places. Bah. And finally, me. Sprig, I'm gonna fuck you up. And finally me. I couldn't call it a coincidence anymore. Rena, Satoshi, and finally me. Could it be that I really was under Oyashiro-sama's curse right now? No. More importantly than that, what should I do now? Satoshi had been demoned away, vanishing without a trace. Rena was fine. Fine? Rena had undergone a change. I could only believe that there was something that wasn't Rena residing within her. I'm gonna fuck Spring up again. Yeah, Spring probably has broken the record. He's been timed out a lot. And here, right now, it was standing before me! Back to our young girl. Rena, please tell me, what will happen to me? Rena stood imposingly, not answering.
Satoshi disappeared, but Rena didn't disappear.
Oh wait. Oh, that was me. But Rena didn't disappear, so what will happen to me? Oh, there's the laugh again. Get that laugh. I never heard such an unpleasant laugh before. It had become akin to the sound of her breathing. It was no longer a voice or an expression of feeling.
Don't worry. I'll save you.
Rena took one step forward, still holding the axe high above her head.
Now then.
One step closer, Rena's face spread out to fill my vision.
Speak.
One step closer. Rena's nose was close enough to touch mine and was still pushing closer.
There's something you want to say, isn't there? I'll listen. I'll save you. Okay? Speak. Okay? Speak. Okay?
I slumped down, landing squarely on my butt. It wasn't for some pathetic reason. It was all I could do to get as far away from Rena. Oh, there's a laugh again. Holy shit. Oh, that's a long-ass fucking laugh. Okay, we're getting the full-on kabang then. That's a laugh.
何がおかしいんだよ。
That's a lot of laughs. I think that was every single one. I had the gut feeling that I couldn't let her laughter end, because when that laughing ended... Oh. The moment I picked up the feeling, my body moved by instinct. I sprained my feet so fast I couldn't believe it, and pushed Rena away with both hands. Rena was as light as a feather. Thrown about by the unbalanced weight of the axe, she was sent backwards as if she had been carried off by the wind. After confirming that out of the corner of my eye, I dashed off its full speed. It was the perfect picture of fleeing like a greased pig. Your boy lives. Get away from Rena. Run away. Survive! I couldn't think of anything other than this. While I was running, I remembered I'd been holding onto the bat the entire time. Such a worthless weapon. I couldn't believe I'd forgotten about this weapon at such an important time. I sped even farther down the winding path. I didn't even feel myself gasping for breath or my legs getting heavy. My body understood it as well. If I didn't run away from here, I wouldn't live. I could hear the laughter of that fuck of Rena coming from behind me. It rang through the trees and in my head and slowly chiseled away at my sanity. The grove of trees thinned out, my field of vision suddenly expanding. Where was this? For a moment, I was bewildered by the scenery I felt I knew but couldn't quite remember. I quickly realized. The damn bitch! I was at the damn site. The fact that I dashed madly ended up in a place like this gave me a bad feeling, like I was following someone's scripted plot. I had a good view of my surroundings, but I didn't see a single soul here. This was a terrible spot for someone on the run, but there was no better place for an attacker. My heart had already been on the verge of bursting. The muscles in my legs were screaming, but I didn't care. If I stopped here, then they might not even be able to scream for much longer. Bah. Even still, I glanced back, looking for an excuse to rest. Rena wasn't there. Instead, I saw two villagers walking around. I breathed a sigh of relief that it wasn't Rena, but a third party. Except the voice inside me rang the alarm once again. Villagers walking around weren't suspicious in and of themselves, but it bothered me. They were both wore out looking clothes. Empty-handed, they definitely gave the impression that they were just out for a walk. But at this time of day, two adults wandering around without a purpose was enough to raise questions. But more than anything else, those eyes. Yeah, I don't know. You and YCS are about the same. I'm going to time you out again, though. I think you're about the same, Spring. No, because the mods used to bully YCS more than they bullied you. They talk shit on you, but they would time out YCS every fucking second. You were more like, fucking Spring, and then after a bit they'd be like, let's time him out. But YCS, yeah, he was pretty much always timed out, now I think about it. So, yeah. There you go. Alright, anyway. Was I at the end of my rope and had finally started imagining things? I should run away. That was probably the best choice. If they weren't involved, I'd lose them easily by running. If they were part of the group after me, then they would come running after me. Either way, unless I hurried up, Rena would catch up with me. That's right. I was gonna run. Deciding that the moment I began to turn tail, both of them rushed towards me, as if they knew exactly what I was thinking. Somewhere inside of me, I jumped to the conclusion that Rena was the only thing I needed to be afraid of. I made the assumption that I didn't need to fear anything else, but right now I realize just how blatantly wrong I was. He's getting fucking jump? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? What the fuck? Suddenly, the story Oishi-san had told me about the demons all leaving the village to hunt prey floated through the back of my mind. What the fuck is going on? I could tell they were both coming after me without even turning around because of their frantic footsteps. It was frightening, being able to shake Rena off as she
It's your birthday, it's your birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Another big year is finally here. Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday, it's your birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And now the big year is finally here. Happy birthday to you.
Guys, models have just created the rubbish. Robots. Subscribe to all those guys, models have just created the rubbish. 15 million robots.
We don't want it, in the closet, I'ma bring pain. We don't want it, I come for you though. So don't front this, the second war is mine. You sing it, we don't want it. In the closet, I'ma bring pain. We don't want it, in the closet, I'ma bring pain. This is the second war, one of the real now. Ignorance is the right real now. I'm top of green, just world speed. Rise, you can't stop me, I'm unstoppable. Touch me, heading from left and right. You're a day for one time tonight. I feel on the go from the 2-4-fin. I got a hold out with a shake Norman in. My name is Thor, no relation to the god of thunder. I got demons to wonder. The waves like you don't miss rise. The little slivers like french fries. You best give up your treasure, cause killing you close to your growth gives me pleasure. I got the most power running from my growth. Steadily we got enemies head. Whoa, you heard me and I'll say it again. I'm unstoppable. Demons body punch me, my action be like awful. I can clock death is one. I'm the man and I got base. Let's make a basketball rap. You don't want it, in the gauntlet, I'ma bring pain to those who want it. We come for you go, so don't taunt this. The sacred orb is mine, you sing it. You don't want it, wait, in the gauntlet, I'ma bring pain. Let's want it, we come for you go, so don't taunt. Shit.
Well, that was a trip. Don't do drugs, kids.
You can't spell nutrition without
You played Smash? Well, I'm gonna time you out. How long you stream tonight, Woo? Whenever we're in this chapter, I have an appointment at 9. So right now it's 7:30. So whenever this chapter ends, we won't be able to start another one. But goddammit, Sin, you derailed everything. You fucked up the stream. Hey, at least you gave birth to a new command. It's gonna get annoying really fast. Maybe we should make it 2 votes for it. Like 2 votes to use Aura. Aura! No, that's what I'll do. 2 votes for Aura. 2 people need to vote for an Aura. That shit's gonna be annoying. But, my question to you, Sin, is what the fuck? Didn't you just get totaled? Not totaled. But didn't you just get in an accident, my man? Where the fuck did you get this drug money? Like, shouldn't you put it towards your car? Boy, the fuck? Someone else vote. You fuck. There you go. No, it's just a little something, probably the best I can do since I haven't donoed in a while. Well, thanks regardless. You helped pay my smog check. That was literally the price. It's like 36 bucks, so that'll do. Thanks, I guess. You helped me fix my car, which is pretty funny considering that's what you do, my man. Isn't that just a quinky dink? All the way from New Zealand, you helped repair my car, or at least get shit fixed. Get registration. Would you look at that? Look at that. Anyway. Being pursued with such violent ferocity, the straightforward horror was unparalleled. One of the pursuer's arms grazed my shoulder. Now it wasn't just their frenzied footsteps, but also the distinct sound of their breathing that I could hear. No, I could practically feel them breathing on me. They were already right behind me. Calm down, Kaichi Mayaba. Still running at full tilt, I felt the surrounding area go still. No, I felt like time itself had stopped. Oh no, it's Sprig. I turned my head back slightly in that frozen world, realizing how close my pursuers had gotten to me. I couldn't win against the legs of an adult, and less than the time it would take to blink twice. When this frozen time began moving again, they'd be right on top of me. On top of me? And then? But don't think about that, Kaichi. First, realize that you won't be able to shake them off like this. If the fact that you can't get away with a given, then you need to make a decision. Go with the right leg or go with the left. You just need to decide which one. Let's go with the left. The moment I decided that, the temporal singularity burst into pieces. Lol, I can't hear. What the fuck? Right. Left. I swung the bat in a wide arc with my right arm. Using that inertia, I stopped and suddenly spun. What? The two of them were clearly startled, momentarily losing sight of me, both of their outstretched arms ready to grab me, instead grasped at empty space. The man on the right, I applauded him for being able to figure it out, spun around to the spot I shouldn't have been and faced me in astonishment. But I was too late. I didn't even need to swing my bat. All I needed to do was extend my arms as I turned around. I was by no means a heavy blow, but it seemed like it had enough power behind it to knock him off of his feet. He just fucking hit the man. But just knocking him down wasn't enough to scare him away. He got back up in no time. Both of them took a fighting stance and were ready to face me. This made me certain they weren't just two people out for a walk. They were clearly after me. It felt much easier than dealing with Rena. Just by not recognizing their faces, by not knowing them, it made things easier. I smiled wryly on the inside. What do you want with me? Next one is going to be right in your face, you bastard! It's fine if it was just a bluff. By barking out then, I was able to fire myself up. They didn't respond. They spread out to either side of me with unbelievably calm expressions on their faces. One of them would grab onto my bat and the other would hold me down. Was that their plan? Taking on both of them at once would be impossible. Hot sweat poured from every pore in my body. Then I just have to settle it with my first move. With the first move. I'd step in and strike the first one down. Narrowing my target down to the man on the right who had already been knocked down before, I stepped in and swung with all of my might. There was no way for an unarmed person to guard against it. It would cause immense damage. If they blocked it with their arm, their bone would snap like a twig. If they turned their back to it, then it was possible that the blow would travel all the way to their vital organs. It looked like he was aware of this. He pushed farther through the kill zone between us and delivered a fist right into my gut. Not good with this distance. In the position and in this state, there was no way for me to dodge it. Oh! Fuck! Huh? Hello? The world flipped upside down. I understood that I was being tossed around like a rag doll. I landed on the soft earth without a sound, feeling the grainy soil press against my face. I just got my ass beat. It didn't hurt at all. But the moment I thought that, I suddenly felt pain coming from the abrasions on my skin, as well as the contents of my stomach being forced upwards, flooding my mouth with a bitter sensation. What the fuck? I knew very well that I didn't have the time to relish this experience. I stood as quickly as I could, but at that moment the other man was already barreling towards me. Being able to comprehend calmly that I simply couldn't dodge it made it all the more upsetting. After plowing into my stomach full force once again, my assailant twisted around behind me and locked his thick arm around my neck. Thick. My throat felt like it was being crushed by his immense strength. If you're still streaming when I get home, we'll see me then. 30-minute drive. Later, boys. Alright, catch you later, my man. I couldn't even contemplate I was being strangled, or that I was about to go unconscious. My vision simply darkened, and a silent whining noise began playing deep inside my mind. It took everything I had to keep myself from blacking out. While this was happening, the other man was more than likely standing in front of me. I wasn't able to open my eyes, but I could feel that he was there. There was nothing I could do now. Unable to shake this arm off of me, I couldn't run. I couldn't fight back. Dire straits. I couldn't even come up with the phrase that adequately described my situation. Huh? What happened? Huh? What? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? A familiar ceiling. The smell of the bed and pillows. I knew them well. Was this my room? Oh, Gatorade ads, you looking cute as fuck! Yo, you looking thick as shit. Normally, there wouldn't be anyone in my room besides me, but their presence made me spring wide. Oh god, he said Spring. Where is he? Where the fuck is Spring? Spring, where are you? Spring, where the fuck are you? Okay, I haven't typed in a long time. Okay, Spring's safe. Normally, there wouldn't be anyone in my room besides me, but the presence made me spring wide awake. When I did that, pain shot throughout my entire body. Not the thoughts. The thoughts. The thoughts.
Feeling alright? I think you better just lie down for a bit.
Why was Rena in my room? Blood began to surge through my muscles and my capillaries, but Rena's smile belonged to the Rena I knew well. I knew I shouldn't let myself feel this way, but I relaxed thinking that this version of Rena was safe. Why am I?
Don't you remember?
After losing consciousness, nothing at all. My body had become more lethargic than I could have ever imagined. I guess that would be the expected outcome after exerting everything I had back there. I tried to at least clear my head, but I just couldn't shake the sluggish feeling out of my mind.
I called the doctor. Should be here soon. But I think you just better lie down until then.
I wasn't injured seriously enough to merit calling a doctor, but knowing that someone impartial was coming was slightly reassuring. Why am I here? No! I'm sure it was the damn site.
That's what I want to know. What happened? When I got there, Kaiju was already passed out.
That's why I'm the one who wants to know. I was attacked by two weirdos. As I talked about it, I finally remember what happened right before I passed out, recalling that memory. And the terror that went along with it caused the fogginess around my head to clear right up. Let's forget about these two for now. I didn't expect Rena to be nursing me. I thought Rena was trying to kill me. She would have had the perfect chance while I was unconscious. Not only did she not kill me, she had nursed me back to health. Amazing. You could drag me all the way back here. Wasn't I heavy? Looking at Rena's delicate frame, it was hard to believe that she had not only gotten me back home, but even dragged me all the way up to the second floor. Do you have some help?
So you remember Kaiji-kun?
Rena appeared a bit surprised, but still kept her smile. I only propped you up. Oh, wait. Wait.
I propped you up on my shoulder. You said you could walk on your own and that you were fine. You don't remember?
I didn't remember. My memory was fuzzy after the point where I lost consciousness. What about those two?
What?
When you got there, Rena, the ones with me, or rather, those two guys.
There wasn't anyone.
She said it bluntly. The way she stated it felt slightly unpleasant. I was just too timid at that time. I might have been able to force some answers out of Rena. Hey, we have Aura as well. Someone do Aura with me. There you go. I guess someone already put them Aura. Oh fuck, Auras! You need 2 votes for that one though, because it's really long, so... God damn, you piece of shit! Fuck you!
Nice.
Fuck all of you! Fuck all of you! Down with all of you! Zebra! I'm taking you all out! This is murder! Alright, that's enough people dead. What did I kill, like 4 people? Fearing that, I didn't press any further. Thinking about it, it was the obvious choice. If both of those men were there, I don't think Rena— oh, fuck you! Rena would have stood a chance. I couldn't find a way to explain it unless I assumed she brought me here after those two were already gone. Rena was still smiling. Her eyes sparkled warmly. Yet, I felt like I was hallucinating when I saw something akin to the shadow slowly creeping across her face. That small omen sent shivers down my spine. While Rena was still Rena, I needed to make contact. I needed to contact Oishi-san. Rena stopped me when I tried to get out of bed. She said it would aggravate my wound, so I should sleep.
Clap.
I'd like to go.
I'd like to go to the bathroom, though.
Sorry.
Rena couldn't say anything else. Smart.
Clappity, clappity, clap.
While Rena stayed in the room, I quickly went downstairs to get the phone receiver in the living room. But when I approached the front door, the doorbell rang ding dong. It must have been the doctor Rena had called. It was strange for a patient to welcome in the doctor who was making a house call, but it would be incredibly reassuring to have him here for the considerable time it would take Oishi-san to get here. I carelessly opened the door with that simple assumption and regretted it almost instantly. Uh-oh. Oh, it's thought number 2. God fuck. Oh, it's Black Jesus. Oh, that's right. YCS has ults. I forgot about that. Shit, it's been so long since YCS has been here that I forgot his culture. Damn. Mion?
Oh, you look just fine. I heard you collapsed, so I came to check up on you.
How do you know I collapsed?
I heard from Rena over the phone. Don't need any other reason than that.
I understood why she would have called a doctor. But why Mion too? Rena was descending the stairs behind me.
Rena, doesn't Kai-chan look pretty alright? Sheesh, you made me worry for nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I worried for nothing as well.
They both began laughing. It appeared to be cheerful laughter, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was a darkness looming over them.
Whoa, what's up with the shoe rack? How did it get like this?
The shoe rack that I smashed to pieces had been like that since yesterday. I fell, you see. You smoke 6-pack a day or something? Yeah, pretty much. And the bat I was holding at the time slammed into it.
This is what happens when you swing around something you're not used to handling. I keep the fact that it was...
I keep the fact that it was none of her business to myself.
Well, leaving it like this will really startle your parents when they get home. I'll fix it up for you later.
Now, come on, Kai-chan. The terminally ill need to rest. Come back to bed, back to bed.
Both of them urged me up the stairs. I had no chance to call Oishi-san. I was pushed into my bed. As it was the first time Mion had been in my room, she began searching around it intently. She fiddled around my room and was scolded by Rena. You can imagine how it went. I was uncomfortable having my room poked around, but the conversation was so benign that it was heartwarming. Why does she have a manly voice? Because she calls herself... Okay, let me fix it. Let me explain this. She calls herself Old Man. Okay? She calls herself Old Man. She carries around a gun. I bet she's the kind that would smoke. So, what did I do? I made her into a New York, or I think it's New York accent, smoker, old man. Alright, there you go. Plus, I needed some contrast from the other girls. Oh fuck, it's Yuddy. Oh shit, it's Yuddy. During that innocent conversation, Mion said something as though it was perfectly ordinary. Why does the other girl have Carl Loser voice? Because she's aloof and dumb. So I gave her an aloof and dumb voice. Hey man, it's just first impression voices. Fuck off.
Rena, did you call the manager?
Yeah, right after he called me Dad. He said he'd be right over.
Manager? That out of place word gave me a bad feeling. Rena called a doctor, then called Mion.
Clappity,
And after
clappity,
that,
clap.
she called a manager? Who was this manager? Since Rena and Mion's conversation was so peaceful, it only felt slightly odd. What are you two talking about? Who's this manager?
Ah, you don't know, Kai-chan. We mean the manager when we say manager.
Like the director of a movie, or like a foreman of a construction site.
Uh-oh, I don't like those laughs. I dug through all of my memories for a manager who might have business with me. Only one of them came to mind. What Rena just said, the construction site foreman, the very first victim of the first incident, the dismembered of the damn construction site, the foreman? But that was strange. He was supposed to be dead. There was no way they could call him. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. What does this manager have to do with me? You said he was coming. Did you mean to my house? That's one obvious question after another, but all the two of them did was smile coolly at each other. There was a huge difference between how the two of them appeared and how my suspicions were playing out. Slowly, I felt discomfort and panic welling up inside me. Why does this music sound like the distorted stuff in Doki? Because it's literally Doki, dude. It's the Doki, the first Doki. That's what I'm saying. It's literally Doki, man. If you like Doki, you'll like this one. It's the same game. It's just a little bit more elaborate, you know what I mean? Like, it's an actual game, not a shitty demo. You don't need mods to get the story from this one. I couldn't understand what Rena and Mion were talking about.
Kai-chan, you've gotten into baseball lately, haven't you? Pretty sure the manager will be happy to hear that.
So, who's this manager?
Ah, the manager is the manager.
So who is this manager? Hire me for your next alarm clock, all right? I'm really good at that was my alarm clock impression. Call me $35. And I'll wake you up personally. Rena and Mion looked at each other and laughed haughtily. That disturbing cackle unpleasantly resounded around me. Actually, don't I have that laugh? I think I have that laugh on my soundboard thingy. What is it? One? Use this one. There you go. That laugh, long enough to be unsettling, ended abruptly.
Oh yeah, we should finish up before the manager comes. You remember, don't you, Kai-chan?
Her face was laughing, but Mion's eyes told a different story. Remember what? In hell.
Kai,
Wait.
Well, I'm glad you could have forgotten. I wonder about the penalty.
did you really forget? The homework with the mochi. The homework where you were supposed to guess which one Rena made. You forgot about that homework, didn't you?
I certainly did not have that homework. But I had thrown away the rest of the mochi after I found that sewing needle. So I wasn't able to answer which one Rena made. The penalty? For that? Why no? Oh, here we fucking go again. No doubt my question was written all over my face. Their answer to my question was that dry laughter. I could no longer make heads or tails of anything. I began to think that this entire day was somehow insane. Who haven't watched any of the other streams, can you please tell me what's going on? Recap for all the new boys. We are a boy in Hinamizawa. There is this legend that there is some god that curses people. One person dies every single year at a certain festival. We are starting to believe that we are the one... Wait, sorry. A person we met recently died. That was the person that died from the festival. We are now freaking out because we realize that this curse might be real. We are going insane and losing our sanity. These girls have been acting pretty strange. Death threats, creepy shit, making us feel like they want to kill us. We've had people attack us. We've had weird things happen to us. We've had sewing needles inside of our food. We've had, assassination attempts. We are freaking the fuck out, and we are in the room with the two girls that we believe want to have us dead. There's a recap. Basically. So that's why he's very uncomfortable. Strange. Incomprehensible. Being chased by Rena. Attacked by strange men. The penalty Mion and Rena were talking about. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, guys. If you like Doki, you're gonna like this one. I don't know why everyone's so shitting on this one. I'm like, it's literally Doki. It's the original Doki, man. I saw this. This is my first non-normie anime, and I knew it was basically Doki. That's the reason I like Doki so much. Because it's literally the same thing. A creepy atmosphere, a lot of unexplained things, and you don't know what's real and what's not, and, you know, what the fuck's going on. It's confusing as shit. And I've played the game already. I mean, I've watched it, and it's just, you know, a plot-centric Doki. That's all it is. Just, you focus on the plot rather than the spooks and the scares. It's really good, man. I like it. So I invite you to watch some more if you can. What were these two laughing at? It didn't take long for me to... Oh, shit, and there's a lot of these. What'd she say? It didn't take me for long to realize that I'd been dragged into an abnormal situation. Who were these two? Who were these people? Who were these doppelgangers of Rena and Mion? Oh, there's the fucking face. Rena had gotten behind me at some point. Why was she pinning my arms behind my back? What are you doing?
Don't move. This is your penalty.
What? What? My body was already very sluggish, and Rena pinning my arms made it that much harder to move. I seriously tried to struggle, but she wouldn't even budge. My panic began to well up, and I realized this is well beyond the realms of jokes and pleasantries. By the way, quick thing to fill you guys in. Just so you know, the context of punishment, we do little games, and if you lose, you have to, like, wear, like, I don't know, a penis hat or some shit. But in this context, kind of fucking freaky. Anyway, this freakishly monstrous strength, it wouldn't have been possible for the Rena that I knew. Then these thin, frail arms grasped me firmly. Whose arms were they?
Kai-chan, no struggling. Club rules, there are no exceptions. You can't fight against the penalty.
Mion. No. The thing that looked like Mion spoke to me like how Mion would speak to me. But I was certain that this was not Mion. Someone who wasn't Mion. Someone who was just pretending to be Mion.
Ha 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 ha. Need to finish this up before the manager comes.
Who the fuck's this manager? Mion fished into her pockets and pulled out something bizarre. Is that JoJo? I could tell what it was just by looking, but for such a thing to be in her pocket, my mind wouldn't accept it. What is that? What the fuck is it? It was a small syringe! Oh shit! A syringe? Oh, what the fuck? What? It was a small clear syringe like what a doctor would use when you went to him when you were sick. Oh. Rena held me even tighter, and I could hear that clattering laughing that no longer sounded like laughter blared into my ear. The eerie laughter, it wasn't something that the Rena I knew could ever produce from her own throat. This thing that was pretending to be Rena, was that the real laugh? Unable to defend myself, the syringe man was holding drew closer, and that needle tip was waved in front of my face countless times.
Don't worry, don't worry. It won't hurt, it won't hurt.
What are you planning on doing? What kind of sick joke is this?
What are you saying, Kai-chan? You know exactly what's going on, don't you?
About what? I don't understand any of this at all.
I know you know. No use playing the fool this late in the game.
Stop talking nonsense and try to confuse me.
You're going to have done to you what happened to Tamatake-san.
Oh!
Oh my god!
For those that don't know, because a lot of you are new, Tamatake-san was the first one to die from Orochimaru's curse. He's dead. He died to the curse. And now they're saying we're gonna die to the curse. What the fuck is going on? Ah! There's the face! What? The same as Tamatake-san?
Clappity,
I
clappity,
didn't really
clap.
understand what she meant. What did I have to do with the syringe?
Playing dumb, Kaiji-kun. You should have realized it by now.
Rena whispered into my ear. Oh, that was her.
You're playing dumb, Kaiji-kun. You should have realized it by now.
Rena whispered in my ear, laughing as if to not admonish me. But even the way she spoke was repulsive beyond compare. Playing dumb? Me? About what? What do you mean the same as Tamatake-san?
FBI, open up!
Everyone thought at first... Wait.
Everyone thought at first it was just a hit and run, except when the officer got close to check if he was alive. He still noticed it wasn't a normal situation. His throat was scratched out.
Oh wait, that's Oishi-san, actually. From a knife or something?
No. Nails.
Nails? Nails as in fingernails? With those couched through? That's right. Tamatake-san had clawed out of his own throat with his own nails and died. Holy shit, Jacob too? What the fuck? Why are all these old boys showing up right now? I've never seen so many old boys recently. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? There's no way someone could die like that. So then for that to happen, we thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. I mean, sorry, we thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. That's right. The police didn't find any drugs in Tamatake-san's system. So, that isn't what they did to us. I'm so fucking confused. The police told me they didn't find any drugs in Tamatake-san's body. Quack, 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 quack. The two of them laughed together with that sickening laughter. Of course they'd laugh. To assume that such a medicine didn't exist just because the police didn't know about it was completely foolish. Meaning, the drug that caused Tamatake-san to die in such a bizarre manner did exist? If Mion injected this into me, then that would probably be all the proof I needed. It would basically mean I'd end up the same as Tamatake-san. Become hysterical, scratching out my throat in my last moments, then die. For such an outrageous drug to exist. For Mion to be holding it. And that I was about to be injected with it. At that moment, I did not feel there was any need whatsoever to question it. What kind of idiot, when he's trying to dodge a ball flying straight for his face, had time to think of a reason as to why it was flying at him?
Just give up. Alright then.
Mion's actions lacked any gravitas, and that made it even more terrifying. There was none of the ceremony like when someone is sentenced to death. There was no hesitation at all, as if she were brushing her teeth. Mion reached out with one hand and grabbed onto my chest. Hop! Hop! Zawaldo! We need that, actually. I might make that a command as well. I might make that a fucking command too. What do you guys think? We'll get that done later. Did I stand up too fast? Or did someone hit me really hard in the back of my head? Having lost my sense of balance, I was assaulted by a wave of dizziness. Because when things go negative like that, it's going to happen a lot in this game. So when it does, I would like you guys to do... Oh god. Are you guys going to be Cancer and do Aura and Zawaldo fights? Is that it? Not done quite yet. We're still going. I squatted down for a bit. When I came back to my senses, my entire room had changed drastically. The Karens don't cost Sukis. The numbness in my head was gone, and slowly I could tell blood was flowing in my extremities again. How long had I been squatting here? How many minutes? Or has it been hours? It was almost as if the hands of the clock had stopped moving. The entire time my eyes were closed, that's how little time had passed. Really? The air in the room wasn't filled with that madness from before, only a dull silence. Rena wasn't there pinning my arms, and Mian wasn't there about to inject me with a needle. No way. Could it be? All of it was a hallucination? Yeah. Yo, WOOHOOLAD, how long are you going to be streaming for, months-wise? I finally got a card that can get me membership, but if you're only going to stream for like around a month, then should I still do it? To be honest with you, Chief, so I have 3 more months of school, so that's the maximum, but I'm applying now for a job that is related to my degree, so it could be any time in between literally now and 3 months. But depending on what happens, like I don't know. Maybe I can continue streaming. I don't know how my life's gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna get so busy I can't. But to be honest with you, Chief, I just hold on to it. But I mean, if you want to use it for the time being, you can. But it's all up to you. I don't know what you want to do with it. Because I can't give you a date, man. My life is very uncertain right now. I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm going to continue streaming. Or, like, if I can continue streaming, is what I meant. I want to, but who knows what the future holds for me. There's no other presence in the room besides my own. It was the weirdest experience I've ever had. Okay, that JoJo's just slightly too loud. Hold on. I gotta nerf JoJo. The aura is just a bit loud. Okay. Okay, he's nerfed. Alright, sorry for bringing it up, my dude. No, you're fine. It's uncertain. I can't give you a date. Just do what you want with it. Because you don't have to, like, have it forever. You can cancel it. So. Is Doki dead on this channel? Dude, I'm playing Doki right now. Actually, wait, I'm playing a good version of Doki. I doubted my sanity for a moment, but I was also seized with some sort of comfort. I guess that terrible ordeal was a hallucination. So it was a fucking hallucination. Okay. Damn it, I was hoping it wasn't. That shit would have been wild. Is Neptunia dead on this channel? No, we're going to be going back to VR once they start patching that bitch. If we can. Again, time is of the essence. I'm trying to build an entire social media empire, though, so we'll see if I can somehow, fucking Hail Mary, a social status big enough to be able to use YouTube as a sustaining platform. We'll see. Neither Rena nor Mian, they wouldn't ever do something so terrible. My head grew hot. I could tell my emotions were welling up. Why? There wasn't a reason to cry. Why? It was sorrow. Why was I sad? I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah. Kind to everyone, not discriminating against age or gender. Mian. That Mian was sprawled. Wait. Wait. Huh? Wait. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Sprawled in the window in a natural pose. Blood stained her stained her a deep red from her head down to her chest. The bright crimson smear on the walls, that splatter, had undoubtedly come from Mian. Wait, did we fucking kill her?
Squish!
She always had that bright smile and was kind to me from the day I transferred. Rena. That same Rena was slumped at my feet and was making the same pool of blood as Mion. I couldn't comprehend what had happened. Did someone come to save me? Then they beat these two down? With this metal bat? I finally noticed the weight in my right hand. How long had it been there? It was Satoshi's metal bat. It was covered in a deep red. There was no doubt that this was the weapon used to mutilate both of them. And I was holding that weapon. I was the only person in that house. What? This music, though. This fucking music. Looking at this objectively, I couldn't think of anyone other than myself who could have done it. I did this? That's right. Kaiichi Maebara. Of course I did it. I told myself gently, as if coaxing myself. Amy, there's no reason for you to remember it, nor is there a need to regret it. Eat or be eaten. You get that, don't you? You forgot what? No, I didn't forget it. I'm half acting. So, I'll be honest with you, Chief. I have to half act this, but I actually didn't remember that we killed them. But it all came back to me. So, but the blood, there's so much. Neither Rena nor Mion had moved an inch. It wasn't just a split forehead and a trickle of blood. Nothing that simple. The entire room was splattered with red, and that told me it didn't end with just 2 or 3 strikes. Were they dead? Both of them? The depths of my mind were calm, but on the surface I was panicking and agitated. Calm down, Kaiichi Maebara. What happened to your usual calm self? Come on now. Bitch, what calm self? You've been fucking shitting yourself for the past, week. Come on now. Do like you always do. Throw your head back and take a deep breath. Come on. Once. Twice. Breathe deeply. Calm down. Calm down. I chanted that over and over in my head and relaxed. The big calm. Color came back to my vision and smells reinfused the air. At the same time, I remembered what happened when I blacked out. Oh.
Nice.
Oh. Oh. Rena and Mion had attacked me. They were about to inject me with whatever caused the same symptoms as Kamatake-san, but right before that happened, I fought back. I twisted my whole body and threw Rena as she was pinning my arms. Yeah, she's like a fucking... Yeah, she's a little baby. Then I followed through with my spin and rammed my foot as hard as I could into Mion's torso. It was soft. Rena tried jumping on me, so I tackled her as hard as I could and slammed her against the wall. I didn't let that brief moment of having them off balance slip by. Satoshi's bat was left carelessly by the side of my desk.
Good job.
Weep. At that moment, everything went pitch black. There was nothing recorded past this point in the videotape of my mind. No. That was...
Finished the quest, huh? Good job.
It wasn't that there was nothing recorded. It was recorded just fine. Just the other me inside myself. It told me not to look and turn off the TV. Oh! Oh, the fucking sound! That was a meaty smack. Just because the screen had gone black, I couldn't see it, didn't mean that the videotape within me hadn't recorded it. The TV was just off. The video was still playing.
Good job!
The tape within me creaking along. Still playing. On the other end of the pitch black screen, that horrifying video was still playing on. Compared to this, though, this scene right before my eyes was still so difficult to take in. There was blood splattered everywhere on the walls, the two of them in these unnatural poses. Not a sign of movement from them. I couldn't even tell if they were breathing. No matter what the circumstances were, my friends, these girls, I had attacked them. Maybe even killed them. But if I hadn't done this, I would have been the one done for. Balancing that out on an imaginary scale, it felt odd that I didn't even feel bad about it. Even if it was a bit excessive, that was justifiable self-defense. The proof was all there. The two of them collapsed here in Mion's syringe. Mion's syringe filled with some unknown drug would certainly solve the mystery surrounding the incident with Tomitake-san. And from the fact that both of these two were involved, they'd be able to pick out the criminals one after another. Still, I might be suspected for this. But that was just fine. Anyway, now this should be the police affair. This wouldn't fade into the darkness like Rena's past incidents. As long as the police were involved, that should bring this to a close. We'll probably revisit their investigation on the chain of incidents. Oishi-san would definitely get to the bottom of this. Meaning, my wish. Not wanting to die. Wanting to know the truth. That would be fulfilled in its most basic form. It was all a matter of time now. The Dr. Rena called. Should be getting here soon. I'll confess everything to him. Need to contact Oishi-san. At that moment, I remembered. Besides the doctor, a manager had been called. It was easy to imagine that there was someone deeply involved with the incidents, judging from Rena and Mion's conversation. The ache in my chest caused by the gruesome deed I'd done dissipated rapidly. It was not over yet. This police is no longer safe. Stay calm, Kaiji Maebara. It's not over yet. I need to live long enough to tell the police of this incident. At that moment, I felt like I heard someone's voice from outside. Since people were speaking, it must have meant there was more than one person. Who the fuck are they? I moved the curtain over so slightly and peered outside. It was a bizarre sight. About 4 or 5 grown men were all gathered at the gate. What the fuck? They very much resemble the 2 men who had assaulted me at the damn site today. What the fuck are they calling 5 boys for? Those 2 might even be among them. There was one person who was wearing a white coat, but he didn't look like a doctor at all. My gut told me he was in disguise, only posing as a doctor. That guy would probably ring the bell and get me to open the front door, pretend to be the doctor to get me to open the door, and then the rest of them would all rush in at once. At that moment, I saw the car parked behind the men, and my heart nearly skipped a beat. Oh, fucking's the world, bro. The white van! No mistaking it. That van, the one that had tried to run me down. The man in the white coat entered the gate and headed towards the front door. The rest of the men hid in the bushes and watched him. They probably couldn't pretend that I wasn't home. Undoubtedly, they just break the window and enter. I need to get out of here somehow. Then, use the public phone to contact Oishi-san to meet up somewhere. First of all, I need a weapon. Then shoes. But before all of that, there was one thing I had to do. I had no intention of dying. I'd live and reveal the truth about this nonsensical curse of Oyashiro-sama. But what would happen from here on, regardless of how determined I was, may bring about my demise. And that's why there was one thing more important than getting out of here right now. I need to get that clock out quickly and take down the note hidden behind it. Damn it. Tape was sticking to it fast. It'd be fine if it was torn a little. I opened up the slightly torn note and began writing another passage with a ballpoint pen. If I wasn't able to inform Oishi-san, then the only thing I could rely on was this note. I'd never thought the police, a piece of torn, college-ruled notebook paper could be this reliable before. You get to choose what happens in this game? Not really. It's very locked, but the story is really good. I really love it, personally. So even though you don't get a choice, Just enjoy it. It's called, the creator likes to call it a audio novel, where you completely forget you're playing a game and you just get engrossed in the environment. And I'm trying my best to deliver voice acting that can do that to some extent. So I'm trying my best to get you into it. I had no time. I'd only write what I knew right now. I needed to leave some sort of information that would lead them to uncover the truth. Ren and Mion were conspirators of the perpetrators. That was an undeniable fact. I still don't want to believe it, but it was a fact. Anyway, I'd leave all the information that would help lead them to finding the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This was everything I was able to see from the window. There may be more. Also, there was an unidentified person known as the manager. To begin with, the term manager didn't even mesh with Hinabizawa at all. If they were going to include the managers from the past incidents, then the only one is the construction foreman, the victim from the first murder. The very first victim in the chain of incidents. Killed in the lynching, his body divided into 6 pieces. His right arm was never discovered. The police should have confirmed that death. But Ren and Mion did both call him manager. They said manager. They wouldn't use that term to refer to someone who was dead. The police would never even conceive that someone who was deceased could be involved. Could that be some sort of oversight? I don't know. But even if I didn't know, it could be a big hint for Oyoshi-san. That's right. They needed to start fresh from the first incident. It wasn't just a simple dismemberment, but the start of the string of mysterious deaths that would follow. So then, there must be something hidden there. Please reinvestigate the victim for the dismemberment incident. He's alive. His death should have been established after an autopsy. Logically, you would think as much. But was that really the case? Could it have been some sort of ploy that they were able to deceive the police with? I shouldn't jump to conclusions. But he may be still alive. I have no time to ponder that right now. Oh yeah. There's something even more important I needed to write. Tamataka-san's death was from an unknown drug. That's right. That drug. It was an irreplaceable piece of evidence. No doubt, just by having this, everything would be uncovered. I couldn't just leave that vital clue laying on the floor. This syringe is proof. Writing that down, I stuck the syringe onto the back of the clock with plenty of tape. So, it absolutely would not slip out and fall to the floor. Firmly. Firmly! The bell rang. You were here. I couldn't write anymore. But even still, there was one last thing that I had to write. I have no idea why it became like this. This may be the closest thing to the truth out of everything I wrote on this note. If you're reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though you may or may not find my body. If I was going to write out everything that could have happened, either dying from the curse or being demoned away. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. With this, my last will and testament was complete. It wasn't certain that I was going to die. It was my final plea, just in case. I folded the note, stuck it back onto the back of the clock, and returned the clock back to its usual spot. I couldn't help but pray. Oishi-san, if something happens to me, I'll leave the rest to you. After that, I gazed down silently at Rena and Mion. This was probably the last time we'd ever see each other. Rena, Mion, I really had thought all of us. Oh no! But why did it look like this? We killed Mion and Rena because they were gonna kill us. I never had any fun in my previous school. I only worried about standardized test scores, about the school I hoped to get into, where I really wanted to go, or a safety net. That was all I talked about. It was a dull life. The people I called friends were also my rivals in studying, in competitions, in personal records, and standardized test scores. Everything here taught me how unhealthy that lifestyle was. This month was really fun. Making a fuss over lunch, making a fuss over the club, making a fuss over the festival. Something hot began dripping from my face. Uncontrollable tears. I should have no obligation to shed tears for them. But they won't stop. Even if they were after my life. Even if they were trying to kill me. Everything that happened this month, I wouldn't forget it. This is so fucking depressing. Or could it be? Those happy days were all a facade as well. Was it all a trap, meticulously orchestrated up until today to ensnare me? Could it have been that I had just arbitrarily assumed that they were my friends? That couldn't have been the case. Both Ren and Mion, they really were my friends. Those happy days. There's nothing fake or unclear about them. Someone probably forced them to try to kill me. Or their minds were taken over, possessed by the supernatural entity known as Oyashiro-sama. Regardless, both Ren and Ren and Mion, they were the best friends ever. And they were coming after me. It wasn't of their own volition. Wait. They weren't the kinds of people to sell off their friends, regardless of whether or not they were forced. There was no way such a thing like being possessed by Oyashiro-sama could happen in reality. Then did the real Rena and Mion come after me? What was I thinking? What a silly, dumb idea. I've been beaten down with Rena and Mion. I was still debating if they were the real ones or fakes. There was no real effect. Only the reality that was before me. Ren and Mion were sprawled out at my feet. That was the only truth. I was only trying to twist the facts to my benefit that I had beaten my friends to death. No matter how I spun it, it wouldn't change the reality. Ren and Mion were both dead. It felt like there was a crack in the dam of strange emotions I was holding back. It felt like my calm state, which was nothing more than a bluff, had receded, and in that opening, insanity was leaking out. I killed them. I killed them. Ren and Mion. I killed them. The unrelenting echo pulled me back into a state of composure once again. I didn't have a moment to spare. Quickly. I needed to get away. I didn't want to die. I would uncover everything after that. The identity of whoever and whatever had pushed me this far. Even if I had to drink mud and eat grass, I would survive. I would survive. I would definitely survive. I killed Rena for that very reason. I also killed Mion. It went that far. Keep living. This that reminds me of what is it? Amnesia. So I can't die. For my sake, and for the sake of the late Rena and Mion, I have to survive! I ran towards the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang again as it urged me on. Behind this single solitary door, they were there. Keeping quiet, I headed towards the kitchen. I headed towards the back door. Before opening the back door, I put my ear to it and checked for people outside. No one. After I put on my shoes, I opened the door slowly so as to not make a sound. There he is. The back door! A piercing voice echoed out. That voice stabbed through me, setting my hair on end. I had to run. Get out of here, Kaiichi. One after another, I felt stuff like rationale and intelligence, these things you use when you have time to spare, spill out of me. I didn't feel any pain from the branches scratching my arms and forehead. My autonomously pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. It probably had no complaints whatsoever, so of course I wouldn't feel fatigue. I just ran. just recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be running like this. There wasn't a thought in my mind about where I was headed. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was, without a doubt, chasing me like a shadow. If I even took one misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. So I didn't turn around. I didn't stop. I ran at full speed. Fucking go, boy. Fucking go. Quacka, quacka, quacka. That was the sound of the chirping Higurashi telling me it was evening, trying to tell me something, and then I finally heard it. The wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? Quacka, 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 quacka. Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew.
Good job.
So, I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi's chirps. But the farther I ran, the farther away their chirping became. I couldn't get near them.
Relatable.
But why are you all running away? Was it my fault? Was I the one to blame? And I apologize. I'm sorry. What is a Higurashi? Cicada.
Recruits needed,
Cicada
sire.
English. The thing you're hearing? Those are cicadas. And the entire game is based around the sound of the Higurashi. So, let it just be known.
Squish, squish.
I'm sorry. 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 I'm
Recruits
sorry. I'm
needed,
sorry.
sire.
I felt that only the Higurashi knew. Insane? Insane. Whew, we're hitting the climax, aren't we, boys? Oh, fuck. Alright. So, unfortunately, though, I do have something I have to do at 9. So... you have to live on that cliffhanger, boys. What the fuck what's going on? Who knows? But I do have a meeting I have to do at 9. I know it's a really late time, but I do have to talk to them. Catch me tomorrow. I will probably have time to stream this game. It seems to be the best time is actually at 6. A lot of you boys were on at about 6, so I might save it for 6. This is probably the finale tomorrow. I think it is. If I recall correctly, it's the finale coming up, so yeah. Since I already know the plot, I could just skip ahead and get a judgment of it. Actually, let me do that right now. If it's not that bad, I'll do it. Let me see. I have a feeling it's very short to that point. Here's your, where is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Here you go. I'll mute it real quick. Let me see. Is it that long? Because it's weird how it didn't put into a segment. Just 1 second. Menu, config, and I already saved. Right? Yep, okay. And skip this bitch. Yep. Let me just quickly skip through all of them and see how long it is. Yeah, I know it's not far, Matthew. I'm just trying to figure out if I could possibly squeeze it in 20 minutes. So far, not looking like it. No. Oh, no. We could finish this. It actually just ended. We could do this. Let's try it. Let's try it, bitches. Let's try it. Let's fucking try it. That actually isn't too bad. It's a bit, but I think we can do it. The smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electric noise, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. Why do smokers have to be shoved so far down this corridor where the sun didn't even reach?
Good job.
I recalled hearing that this tax revenue from tobacco was about 1/10 of the municipal revenue. We were the most heavily taxed members of this so I really wish they'd show us a little more respect. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this is, oh, shit. We swap perspectives. We're an Oishi-san. For those that don't know, he's a cop.
Oh, how would you discharge the 5 manzu there? It's just decreasing your options.
One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with the Mahjong magazine called Next Turn.
You're still a tenpai if you cut the 5 manzu.
If you're betting on Hatai, then you shouldn't be going into that with Mangon.
Kama-chan, look at the pond. They all discarded a 5 manzu. It's a safe title. You'd hated it at the end game. Someone was sitting on the tenpai the last turn.
I don't give a fuck about what they're talking about. The kid let out another groan, put out a cigarette, then took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options?
By the way, you can't call Ron with your winning title like that. Hentai.
Looks like hentai. What? Why is that? Just then, I heard a voice coming from down the hall. Are you here, Oishi-san? You have a call from a civilian.
Whoa! Isn't that something? Well, see you soon.
Why can't you call Ron on it? Hold on for a second. Oishi-san! The man sitting in the seat Higurashi-san was headed towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line. From a payphone.
Oh, why, thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Oishi. How is it?
Oishi-san! Hello? Oh, if it isn't Maibara-san. Why, good evening. From the tone Maibara-kun's voice, I already knew he was from the,
in a predicament.
That's right, I need a voice like him.
This is the first time Maibara-kun had phoned me. He was calling from a payphone. Please calm down. Did something happen?
His voice was erratic over the line. He completely lost his sense of composure. After checking that nobody could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone.
What happened?
You can't spell nutrition without studying.
Down, Maibara-san. I can have the local officers at your location. I'll be there soon, too.
I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by police even as he was making this call, was he? People, sorry.
Maibara-san, you're calling from a payphone right now, right? Where's that payphone?
There were no other sounds besides
Maibara-kun's voice. It had to be a phone booth. I scratched out that note and thrust it into my colleague sitting across from me.
Himasawa, phone booth.
He understood quickly and hastily started on the internal lines.
Calm down, Maibara-san.
What is your current situation? It usually wasn't a good idea to tell someone panicking to do so, but this was not the usual case. Maibara-kun didn't just get in trouble, get away, and then call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now. But yelling at Maibara-kun right now would just needlessly cause him to be even more frantic. Maibara-kun wasn't just calling to seek help. He was trying to tell us something more than that. And whatever that was, if I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance. My colleagues pushed a note in front of me.
There's only one phone booth in Hinamazawa. A patrol car's on the way. 5 minutes.
That's too long. How many officers are in there?
2. Not enough. If it was as I imagined, there was likely quite a few people surrounding Maibara-kun.
5 minutes was too long. Did you call the officer station in Hinamazawa?
He's scheduled to be on a patrol. They're currently out, and it'd be impossible to contact them.
God damn! Kuma-chan, bring the car around.
Understood.
Hello?
Oishi-san.
Well, hello! It's all right. I can hear you loud and clear.
There was something wrong with Mayabara-kun. That wasn't a normal coughing sound. Vomiting? Or was it blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured?
Mayabara-san, the police are on the way. They'll be there in a couple minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? Mayabara-san?
I could hear on the other end of the line that he was having a coughing fit. The worst possible situation popped into my head. Mayabara-san, who is the culprit? How many are there? I thought at first the culprit was human. I couldn't tell if that was a cough or vomiting.
Are you alright, Mayabara-san?
I thought that the culprit was a person and not Oyashiro-sama's curse. Up until right now. But I guess in the end...
It was an intense bout of coughing, then vomiting.
But I guess Oyashiro-sama does exist. No, he's here.
Mayabara-san, please, just calm down.
I had been thinking strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and run and run and run. But it just sticks to me like my shadow. But slowly, so slowly, it's digging itself into my back.
Mayabara-san, are they right now perhaps? Right behind you.
Behind me.
Please, Mayabara-san, I can tell you're scared. Please, please. Who is it? Who's right behind you?
I just can't look behind me. Would you all? Wow.
I understand that you're scared, but please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who is behind you, Mayabara-san? Right after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. What followed was a nightmarish sound. Mayabara-san, it could be that you're calling out your own throat. Oh my fuck! There was no answer, but I could hear something like scratching. There was a bang as if something was being hit. Mayabara-kun had probably dropped the receiver. I could hear groaning and vomiting on the other end in a repeating abnormal noise.
Hello? Hello? Mayabara-san, hello?
I knew I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end, but I couldn't help but shout. At that moment, I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. From the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to someone there? Hello? Mayabara-san? Rather than whispering, it was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. I focused my senses trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Suddenly, the line was dead. Did he just use up his time? Is it because it was a payphone? It's because it's cut out so abruptly. The last thing he said came out so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san. Oishi-san, the car's gonna go! Oishi-san? It was. I'm sorry. Oishi-san? That's what he meant that's what he was repeating over and over. He said, I'm sorry. I had a gut feeling. There was no longer need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of the Higurashi spilling in from the open window. Wait. I should have been able to hear them this entire time. I just wasn't paying any attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Quick. Were they trying to tell me something? Only the Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. Oh, fuck. July 1983. In Hinabazawa, a remote village near Shishibone City, there was a murder involving 2 female students. The suspect is Kaichi Mayabara. The suspect called over the 2 female classmates, Renaru Yugo, Miyan Sotozaki, to his house and beat them to death with a metal bat. The scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the 2nd floor of his house. The inside of the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood, and there were signs of a struggle within the victims. In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. That's read kind of fast, it goes by on its own. At the entryway, the shoe rack and wall had evidence of being impacted by a strong blunt force. It is believed to be in the same bat as the murder weapon. Having no traces of blood, it is believed the destruction occurred before the murders. There is the possibility the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back and then thrown aside. Oh, sorry. It is hard to believe that they had a connection to the struggle with God damn it. To the struggle with the victims, and thus the reason remains unknown. Fuck! It's so hard to read fast. In the kitchen, the garbage bag was torn apart, and its contents were spread out on the floor. Garbage was strewn about in the surrounding area, and handprints believed to belong to the suspect were discovered. It is believed that the suspect had for some reason taken out the garbage and struck it with his fist. The reason for this remains unknown. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge with the words, "Was there a needle?" were written all over it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case, the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered, so even the police couldn't find it. Oh, hey, H-Dog, what's up? See you later, though. Though the garbage door was functional, it had been left open since the suspect moved in. The garage door had been found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown. The suspect fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinabazawa local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of discovery, the suspect was unconscious in critical condition. He was rushed to the local hospital for treatment, but did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. The results of the autopsy indicated that immediate shock caused the death and had been hypovolemic shock. It determined that the suspect had clawed on his own throat and his fingernails, and the resulting bleeding caused his death. With this similarity to the death of Tomotaki-san the prior week, the police believed there to be a connection and had opened an investigation. However, due to the wishes of the local authorities, it will be a confidential investigation. Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was suspected that drugs were involved, but as with Tomotaki-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, this case is being treated as an act committed on impulse. However, with several accounts of the suspect's bizarre behavior leading up to the incident, it is fucking... God damn it. It's so fucking hard to read it. It's so fast. It is possible that this was premeditated. Separating from his group of friends, isolation, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was observed displaying aggressive behavior as well as talking to himself at school. His classmates actually heard portions of what he was saying. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to these circumstances, the police might have begun an investigation on the possibility that this crime was not committed on impulse but was instead planned several days in advance. Afterwards, a note was found in the suspect's room that he had written himself. The note was written on 2 sheets of a B5 college ruled notebook and had each been torn in half, and as it was trying to conceal, it was stuck behind a clock on the wall. The contents are as written in the appendix. The police believe it was to be strongly related to the incident. The police changed their line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive or premeditated? With the situation unclear and no further developments, the curse had been landed as unresolved. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The note was not written on 2 halves of B5 paper from 2 separate sheets, but was originally a single sheet of B5 paper. In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out. You're fucking kidding me. You're fucking joking. Oh my god. The fucking guys got away with it. The manager, quote unquote. Judging from the size of the letters, the missing section is estimated to be 2 to 3 lines. It is highly probable that the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging on the traces of large quantities of cellophane tape being stuck to the back of the clock, speculation that something other than the note was stuck there had arisen. The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have connection to the incident, Oishi. He underwent voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damages to the note. The suspect's note. I Higurashi Chapter in fear of my life. I don't know what they're why they're after my life. The only thing I know is that it has to do with Oishi-sama's curse. Ren and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. Everything below has been ripped out. This is on the second page. Everything above has been ripped out. I have no idea why it's become like this. If you're reading this, then I'm probably already dead. Though the only difference may be the presence or a lack of body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. Kaiichi Maebara. Wow. So those that committed this confusing atrocity are gone. A new series has been unlocked. All cast review section has been added. To play it, select extra. Wait, what? What the fuck is that? So there you go. The first chapter of Higurashi is done. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with the second one, but what's this extra thing they were talking about? I think there's about 7 or 8, I think. Oh, it's... Oh. Oh, it's one of these. It's one of these.
Thank you for buying Higurashi with the crying of the fish not by bad shot, was it? If you join even a little bit, it would make me happy.
Even a little bit is stretching it. That's incredibly dark ending made me angry, you know.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I understand. This whole chapter is supposed to be somewhat of a prologue to the entire series.
How could the prologue have such an incredibly dark ending? Yeah, but that doesn't happen sometimes. I mean, doesn't that happen sometimes? The player digging through the story in order to avoid a bad ending is the point of these types of games after all.
It started the first chapter that was the next one.
What happens in the next chapter? Rena, do you know?
Yeah, they said the next chapter will introduce another aspect of the story.
That's a strange way of putting it. What does that mean?
In this chapter, they introduced a string of mysterious deaths that were happening in Hibisama recently, right? The next chapter will introduce some of the history in Hibisama.
With one strange event happening to another, I got totally lost. What exactly is Oishi-sama's cursed about? Actually, what was Oishi-sama to begin with? Didn't explain it much.
We haven't heard much about it. Boy, I have a bad feeling about it. Scary stories or somebody gets cursed again.
Tough luck then, Kai-chan. What kind of curse is he gonna get hit with this time? However, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of story it's gonna be.
Sorry for being late. My bad, my bad. Hey, everybody. Good work today.
Ah, same to you. Where's Kai-chan?
Kaiichi-kun's already off reading the script for the next chapter. Must be hard being the main character.
That's too bad. You could have at least poked in and say hello. That's probably because he doesn't have any character art, so he couldn't poke his head even if he wanted to.
Rika-san, that's what we refer to as a personal problem. In any case, that story really was a lot of trouble, especially for Kaiichi-kun and Rina-chan.
Trouble? That was the mother of all bad ends.
I wonder, what was the identity of that thing that could attack Kaiichi-kun?
My theory is that was the work of people made to look like a curse.
Kaichi made that phone call.
Yeah, I also thought that call was strange. At that point, Kai-chan should have been starting at the cops for people. That really was a strange phone call. It almost sounded like he was being chased by a ghost or something.
Just for that phone call, it really makes me think that it was just a work of a curse after all.
Since we're all here, why don't we all share our theories? Let's start with Sonozaki-san.
I absolutely believe it was people. I think it was a man-made incident, that it was just imitating the strange folklore floating around in Hinamazawa.
Certainly, every year on the day of the festival, for another link in the chain of the mysterious death to happen certainly is suspicious.
That so-called chain of mysterious deaths is definitely somebody trying to reenact the folklore. Definitely. I think it was the curse. Looking at the scene where Kaichi-san went berserk in the entryway, and the last scene with a phone call, I just couldn't come to the conclusion that the people were the culprit.
Now you say it that way, it really wasn't the type of scene that would make you think it was the actual work of a person.
Yeah, but even then, I still think it was a person who did it. That last scene and the one with the entryway, I think it might have been a delusional episode.
Oh shit. Whoa, that's a lot of text.
Delusional episode brought about by post-traumatic stress disorder. Fuck.
I wouldn't know what's going on anymore, even if you didn't use such complicated words.
In other words, Kaichi was so scared that he was imagining things. Then...
Oh wait, then... What was the meaning behind that scene? What exactly was that mysterious presence behind Kaichi? A red herring. R-E-D-H-E-R-R-I-N-G.
I fucked up an R.
Richard, what do you mean by red herring?
Like an old man Tamataka here said, that scene was the result of Kai-chan having a stress-induced delusion for being mentally cornered. To expand on that a bit further, it was a ploy to make the player think it was the curse. That's why it was the red herring. Then, when you say it that way, but...
Well, it just means that there's possibility.
In that case, the theory that Oishi-san proposed during the story when it was completely pierced by the villain was correct. Who is that man himself at to say about that?
Me? It makes you think, huh? Huh? I totally thought Oichi-san would be behind the people explanation.
Fuck.
During the story, I said it was definitely the work of people, but if a person really was to blame, that leaves a lot of loose ends.
Rip my booty hole. I gotta finish last stream. So, yeah. Nice meeting y'all, home fires. Who the fuck is Matthew? We have 3 Matts now. Why do we have 3 Matts? Why the fuck do we have 3 of them? What the fuck is going on? Anyway. Wait, who's talking?
Like what? Let's see what Detective Oishi's theory is.
Nice.
I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a little bit of brazzers going on here. I don't know about you guys. How do I make it go away? I see a little bit of brazzers. Holy shit, she's small as fuck. Compared to those two, she's small as shit. She's fun-sized.
First of all, if a human's the culprit, then there has to be a motive. In other words, somebody has to gain something from it.
So what you mean is, if this was the work of people, there would have been something gained from causing the chain of mysterious death.
Exactly. I felt that somebody could have benefited from the deaths of people related to the damn development.